Police in the Northwest confirming that they're on the manhunt for an alleged illegal mining kingpin who escaped from custody after resurfacing from Shaft 11 in Stilfontein last week. In fact, authorities say an extensive investigation and a tracing operation is now underway to try and find officials who may have aided this escape of this Lesotho national, we understand. The names we have are James Neo Tswaledi, who's commonly referred to as Tiger. This individual, we understand, was never booked at any local police station or hospital. Let's get you a sense of what else we know. Bring in the spokesperson for police, that's Brigadier Athlenda Mate, with us now via our video link. Brigadier, great to see you. Thanks for making time as always. Let me hear in your words what you think might have happened here.
Look, absolutely disappointing and shocking revelations that are coming out of Stilfontein this morning, where they're confirming that one of 4 suspected kingpins and ringleaders has escaped from lawful custody, or rather, he was let go by one of our police officers or officials that was involved in Operation Vala Umgodi. And I'm saying this because it is a police operation. It was the police officers that were responsible for escorting the illegal miners from the cage up to where they would be processed, and thereafter escort them to the truck that would transport them to the nearest police station to be detained. So preliminary investigations indicate that he was let go between Shaft 11 and the police station. He was never in police holding cells. Otherwise, we would have had a record of him in our cells. We have searched in other nearby police stations. We have also searched at the local hospital for this particular fugitive. He was not admitted. So the only logical conclusion is that someone let him free. And we are starting with the investigation internally to ascertain who of our police officers or any other official who is involved in aiding this person, this ringleader, the suspect, to escape from lawful custody.
And when, Athlenda, did you notice that this person was missing?
So a senior officer who is linked to this particular Operation Vala Umgodi, conducted an inspection which is, a regular inspection that police officers do to ascertain which suspects or if suspects are in police holding cells. And upon that particular inspection, he then noticed that one of the 4 kingpins that have been identified was not in the holding cells. And that is when he alerted the overall operational commander. We then started with investigating on whether or not he is detained at other nearby police stations where other illegal miners have been taken to. It was then determined that he was not in those particular police holding cells. We then moved to the local hospital that had admitted about 21 illegal miners. And there too, he was found not to be there. And that is why we have in our preliminary investigation indicated that we have commenced with an investigation which is looking internally within the police service as to who may have aided him. And why I'm saying this is that it was the responsibility of the police officers on this particular operation to ensure that all suspects are processed, all suspects are detained at police holding cells, and it was the responsibility of the police to ensure that all suspects appear in court. So for the mere fact that he did not appear on the court roll, meaning he was never detained and booked in to the police holding cells. So we have launched a maximum we've mobilized maximum resources, and we have launched a manhunt to find this particular fugitive of justice.
I hear that, Athlenda, but my question is largely unanswered. It was, when did you notice that this person was actually missing?
Well, we noticed last week during an inspection that was conducted by a senior officer attached to Operation Vala Umgodi, and that is when we started with our preliminary investigation. So we didn't want to rush to launch this manhunt or particular investigation before we conducted and we ensured due diligence, and we ensured that he is not in police custody and he's not admitted at a local hospital. So we firstly satisfied ourselves. So in the investigation, this particular investigation commenced as early as last week, where we started searching for this particular fugitive.
All right. And the only reason why I asked that question, of course, is to get a sense of how far possibly he could be by now. How is or let me ask the question this way. What's the official messaging to members of the public? I mean, is this an individual on the run? Is this a fugitive insofar as the police are concerned?
Well, at this stage, I can tell you that this is a well-organized crime. This was well-planned, this was well-coordinated, and heads should roll, because we do have officials involved in the escape of this particular fugitive. It was not something that was just thought of on the spot. It was well planned, well coordinated. Resources were spent in ensuring that this person does not get to police holding cells. So we have ensured that maximum resources are mobilized to find, firstly, those that have aided him to escape from lawful custody, those that have assisted him in ensuring that he is let go. And thereafter, we are also searching for him and investigating others that may have been involved in this aiding of a fugitive from escaping from lawful custody.
Yeah. This individual, as you explained to us, didn't make it to court. So I suggest you knew about him even before, for argument's sake, he was arrested. Essentially, my question is, how were you able to distinguish between individuals who are involved in this mining operation and those who, for argument's sake, orchestrated it and therefore can be seen as being kingpins of what took place in Stilfontein?
Look, we have our intelligence on the ground that has been working tirelessly on Operation Valomkoti, particularly on what has been happening in Stilfontein. We've got statements that we have taken from those that have resurfaced from various shafts. And in all these statements, they pinpoint certain individuals as being directly involved in the deaths, in some of the deaths that were reported underground, in being involved in the alleged torture and abuse that is alleged to have taken place. And they are also fingering this particular kingpin as a mastermind behind those that would be controlling operations underground, and also those that would be controlling and hoarding food and keeping away food from other illegal miners. So we have been working on this particular case for quite some time, and that is why it is disappointing, and it is an absolute embarrassment to the justice and security cluster as a whole, because it really does expose the lack of proper planning. When you identify a kingpin and a ringleader, you should have necessary plans in place to ensure that that particular fugitive and that particular suspect does not escape from custody. So it goes back to our planning as the police to say, somewhere, somehow, we need to identify the loopholes as to where where he would have gotten the opportunity to escape. So we are hot on the heels of those that are involved in this particular operation, insofar as allowing this particular fugitive to escape from lawful custody. So it is a matter of time before we effect the necessary arrests. We are following up on information. There's certain information that we are tracing and following up on.
All right, Athlenda Mate, for now, thanks very much indeed. Needless to say, this is a story we'll be watching very closely as it continues to unfold. Athlenda Mate is the National Police spokesperson.